Okay, so this was kind of a weird dream, and there's only bits and pieces I remember of it. Like I was being given a message as I was waking up, but I couldn't grasp onto all the information in order to write it down. And then, of course, what I did write down, like, literally looks like chicken. Excuse me. It looks like chicken scratch. Um, but I will transmit what I could gather. Okay, so I kept hearing, "Oh, we decide." Oh my gosh, your penmanship is so bad, Tia. We decide who we are as a society. So many things are collapsing because we've only been looking at this as individuals. We are on the precipice and within the process of a new era, a turn of the tide. It's dark and violent, but so is birth, and we are witnessing the birth of a very important time in human evolution. Now, a couple of things. I got the news last Friday, just like everybody else in the world did, about Supreme Court stuff. So it's not lost on me that this is the way that this came through. I think there's a deeper message there that I'm going to have to marinate on. Yeah. It's dark and violent, but so is birth. And we are witnessing the birth of a very important time in human evolution. Now, it didn't say United States evolution. It didn't say, like, societal evolution. I heard human evolution. So this is bigger than any one country, any one individual, anyone, anything. Like, I feel like we're about to take a quantum leap of some sort. Okay? We're at the precipice and within the process of a new era, a turn of the tide. So things are about to turn sharply. Like, think of it this way: you're walking and walking and walking, and then you have to take a sharp 90-degree turn. That's what I'm seeing. Okay? And the other thing about this is, as I was hearing all this, like, I could feel the wind, right? And in feeling the wind, it's like I was standing in a forest and involving all these weird forest dreams. I'll have to tell you all about a different one that I'm pretty sure took place in South America. Side note. So I was, in a forest, and I literally saw the trees in the forest, like, all snap in the same direction. And it was very similar to what happens when there's a, not earthquake, but like an explosion, like a really powerful explosion of some sort. Like, think when Mount St. Helens blew here in my state. Like, at least the way the way you could see what happened to the trees is, like, every single tree was broken at a certain point very sharply at a 90-degree angle within a certain, square mile range, or several hundred square mile range, because of the force of that wind. Oh my god, I hope this isn't talking about something literal, like crashing into our planet, because, I mean, talk about a way to get your priorities straight, but holy shit, like, yeah, wow. That's like, trying to even wrap my mind around that is kind of insane. We know it happens. It's in the geological record that it happens, but, like, to actually be on Earth and witness a catastrophic type event like that, yeah, I can't even wrap my head around that right now. So anyways, I don't know if this is that serious or if it's just like a small meteor that's gonna, like, hit an area and cause a significant crater and damage. Or if it's talking about a mountain or a volcano erupting somewhere, another very powerful eruption that's taking place soon, or if this is metaphorical. Yeah, gotta love when they're not super specific about this. I feel like I will get more about this But that's kind of all I've got right now. Yeah, I'm gonna read it one more time. Like, oh my gosh, it's probably one of the most powerful dreams, or I don't, this did not feel like a dream, but for terminology's sake, bear with me. This was one of the most powerful dreams that I've had in a very, very long time. Like, it was lucid. I was there. I felt it. I felt the wind on my skin. So, like, this is pretty serious, but I want to say that I was very calm. Like, I didn't feel, there was no panic, there was no anxiety or anything like that. So that's also telling for a situation like that. Anyways, I'm going to read what I wrote down one more time. So there's a forest, the keyword there's a forest, and it's a crossroads in the forest where we decide who we are as a society. So many things are collapsing because we've only been looking at this as individuals. We are on the precipice and within the process of a new era, a turn of the tide. It's dark and violent, but so is birth. And we are witnessing the birth of a very important time in human evolution. Oh my God, this makes the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. Yeah, this is what I keep thinking about. And I had this dream this morning, and I had a really, really hard time sleeping last night, and I couldn't quite shake the feeling. Like, it was kind of a sense of dread. A really, really hard time sleeping. Like, I went to bed laying down, exhausted, totally ready to sleep my ass off, right? And it was hot. It was definitely warmer than it typically is in Washington State. But, you know, I had cooled down my room. It was ready for bedtime. It was ready for me to sleep, right? But within 15 minutes of laying down and getting into that liminal space where you begin to drift off to sleep, I was like almost jolted wide awake by this energy that I couldn't shake. And it felt like dread. Okay. Whew. And it was several hours of just like hearing that ringing, you know, the download ringing that I get, before I was able to actually like go to sleep. And this was the dream that I, you know, had when I finally got into the right stage of sleep to remember the dream. Yeah, I don't know. Like, as I've been getting these messages, I've just been writing stuff down. And it's like, I felt calm in the dream, but like, as I'm reading this, like, I've got, you guys, I can't shake it. I don't know what it is. The last time a message came out like this, at that point, I just kept hearing explosion, 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 right? Like, I wasn't getting any other information to, like, in my opinion, really feel like help with anything. This is a little bit different. This is clearly a forest. It's clearly, like, again, an explosion of some type. Fuck, I bet this is Uranus energy. This has got to have something to do with Uranus. I wonder, would volcanic explosions be considered Uranus energy? I'm gonna have to marinate on that. Because, I mean, if that's the case, I know there's supposed to be something funky going on with Uranus very, very soon here. Let me look at my little handy dandy book. Oh, fuck, July 4th. Pluto. That's when we have, well, I'm going to say the beginning of our Pluto return. The Pluto return itself is going to last for a while. I saw this presentation at Norwalk this year about this, and it kind of blew my mind. But let me look here. What's going on with Uranus? Where is Uranus? Okay, there's Neptune retrograde. Mars goes into Aries. Shit, that happens in like 2 days. It's not Krakatoa. Krakatoa already happened. But there was another volcano recently. Was it Tonga? Shoot, I don't remember. I'm going to have to look that up really quick. But they were saying, like, I was reading some of the studies that were done based on, like, the data of the aftermath, and they were saying that it's, like, one of the strongest eruptions on record. Like, just the amount of force that it created, and that it created basically a mega tsunami that didn't really go anywhere. It kind of collapsed in on itself based on where it was, if I'm remembering correctly, which is really interesting. Like, for the amount of power that this particular volcano released, like, it would, had it happened in the atmosphere versus underwater, it could have been an extinction level event. That's the way I took what I was reading. Oh, maybe that's Yellowstone. That there's a particular scene, and you guys will have to forgive me because I'm a super nerd and I watch a lot of disaster movies. Like a ridiculous amount of natural disaster movies. And I'm trying to figure out the scene that I keep seeing in my head of, like, the trees, like the wind coming and then the snapping, like just snapping the trees. And I'm pretty sure it's in 2012. I might have to watch that movie tonight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in 2012 where, like, the Yellowstone volcano first erupts.
I have goosebumps, people!
Okay, I guess we're pulling out the Urban Tarot. Oh my god, I'm freezing suddenly. Okay. Why can't I get fluffy messages? Like, that would be so bomb if I could just get fluffy messages. Okay. Whew. What is this trying to tell me? Oh, lovely. So some kind of illusion is going to be unveiled. Or a foolish enterprise, foolish new enterprise. Dominion. Okay, let me get one more. Truce. The seducer, the public defender. Is that a Pegasus? That's a fucking Pegasus. Crab. Cancer season. Lime. Creepy looking guy. It looks like. Everything is on fire. The fuck am I getting? That looks like a ship. Steering wheel. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. Itchy nose. Okay. Naval ship in Washington, D.C. They didn't even have naval ships in Washington, D.C. Ooh. Ooh. Is the ship gonna get blown up? Oh my god, I'm freezing right now. The temperature straight dropped as soon as I started getting into this message. But no interference, so there's that. Interesting. Okay, so in any case, just to make sure this is documented somewhere, I pulled out the Fool, the Seven of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and bottom of the deck was the Four of Swords, which has a picture of the UN on it, and a big X. X marks the spot, crossroads. I'm getting a really creeping feeling about this. Okay, so there's this reading that I did back in 2020. Like, I finally found it. Like, and it's one that I had been thinking about for a while, trying to figure, like, find out. I couldn't remember what I named the video, basically, is what it comes down to. And that's the one where I was talking about, where I kept hearing an explosion, and I wasn't getting any other, detail about what that meant. So, now come to the most recent download that I got, which is, I'm just calling it Soundwaves in the Forest. And when I finally found this other reading, I labeled it Message of Concern, and I'll link it in the video. But I rewatched that video to try to, like, figure out why my mind was, like, so on this video. To go back and watch this video again to try to remember everything that was said. And I finally found it, like I said. And I watched that video, and the hair stood up on my back of my neck again, because it's very similar to the Soundwaves in the Forest download that I got. So apparently this is a multi-part message. And I don't even know why I'm recording this right now. I felt like I should press record because more is going to come through, and maybe now nothing is going to come through. Okay, hold on. Okay, maybe it was about Tonga. Because I was thinking about this. Okay, so the whole Yellowstone, oh my goodness, really right now too. Yellowstone basically flooded, like straight fucking flooded, right? Release of glacier, melt, snow melt, high temperatures. Yellowstone flooded. Now, for a long time, there's been this theory or the saying that Yellowstone is a super volcano, right? Many, many disaster movies have been made with this in mind, and I'd be lying through my teeth if I said I hadn't seen them all. I've pretty much seen them all. But the point that I'm trying to make is, like, there's been this belief that Yellowstone as a super volcano, or as it once was, is we'd never see that erupt in our lifetime, right? Based on everything I can remember researching about it, that's what the current consensus was within the community, right? We'll never see this erupt in our lifetime. Not to the point where, like, you know, as it's portrayed in these disaster movies. However, something about that Tonga eruption has kind of got me, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. So between the Tonga eruption and Yellowstone flooding, like, the Tonga eruption was a subterranean eruption, right? So it took place underwater. But yet and still, this eruption was so powerful. I should say it took place like at sea level, like right at sea level. And this eruption was so powerful that it affected space weather. I'm going to link these articles that I found about this. And that it sent shockwaves clear around the globe. It was more powerful than a nuclear bomb. And had this taken place above sea level, like significantly above sea level, like, you know, say the height that most mountains are, you know, the smallest, several thousand feet, you know, in the air, that type of power would have led to an extinction level event. Like, it was larger than Krakatoa, which is why Krakatoa came up earlier. So what are we getting here? What are you getting? One-two punch. That's been coming up a lot. I don't know what that means yet. But, so you think about the whole Tonga volcano, right, which is not classified as a super volcano to my knowledge. But then you think about the sheer power of that could create, or that created, and then multiply that by a super volcano. Okay, basically Yellowstone is one big crater. It is one big crater of a very active volcano that's not active in the sense of that we view active volcanoes. You know, it's not like Hawaii or anything. But it is active. That's why you have those geothermal pools and that's why it looks like what it looks like. It's a big fucking crater, okay? Old Faithful stops. Okay, this is nuts. Or if I hadn't mentioned it already, it's July 3rd, 2022. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyways, okay, so, oh my god, where am I going with this? Geologic lesson. Good stuff. Yeah, something is probably gonna pop off tomorrow. I haven't had any issues sleeping, really, not since then, but when I fall asleep anywhere other than my room, I literally wake up almost on the dot at 3 a.m. Usually I'm sleeping on my couch. It's very strange. Every single time, 3 a.m., which is the witching hour. The Tonga volcano is in the South Pacific. Whew. I wonder, I mean, like, even the tsunamis it caused were huge, but it just basically didn't go anywhere. Which that in and of itself is really strange. there's something bigger. Oh my god, I've got the chills. Yeah, there's something bigger going on with that. It's gonna happen again. Okay, so I just heard emergency broadcast system. Like national emergency broadcast system. Like, here's the thing. This broadcast system has been going on for like ever and ever and ever, right? For as long as I can remember. I mean, I don't remember exactly when it started in history. Maybe I should look that up. I'll look that up and put it on the screen. But so the emergency broadcast system was put into place in the event of a national emergency, right? They didn't sound that off for COVID, but they did like a White House address for that. Oh my god, I'm getting cold again. National Emergency Broadcast System. National Emergency Broadcast System. So if that were to happen now, there would definitely be news. They'd probably send out a text message alert to every phone, at least here in the US. I think it's gone. I'll have to try this again after I've actually had a full meal. That's really weird. Like, I used to be able to channel on an empty stomach, and now I can't. Like, I have to have food in me to do this, which is, it's interesting. I don't know if that just shows like a growth from when I was doing this before. Okay, so I'll just go with what I got.